welcome to this episode of Ruff Talk VR. This is another one of those, no interview today, so figured we'd talk some, game updates.
It's news time.
Yeah, it's Monday morning news, so starting the week talking about some...
Wish we had the little typewriter sound, though. Typewriter, listen to me. Wish we had the keyboard typing sound. Clicks, click, click, click.
Showing the age there,
Yeah, they'd have newscasts back when I was younger.
I know
where we'd cut in and be like...
That'd be a good little intro start segment.
On today's news.
Yeah. But we figured we'd talk about some of the games we love, some updates that's dropped for them, and then also some upcoming games.
Yeah. Never a dull moment in the VR world, that's for sure.
From my perspective, no. Especially as somebody who, I view it from, I want to review these games. There's so much coming. I mean, there's so many games that we've still haven't reviewed that, existed before we started the podcast. And then, you look at, the Upload VR showcase that came, combined with earlier in the year, the Oculus showcase.
Yep.
It's there's so many games coming through the end of the year and the start of 2023.
There's another showcase coming up in a couple months, I believe. So.
Yeah, this is going to get pretty ridiculous on the Quest store, and you can see...
There's so many good ones, or there's more good ones coming out than I haven't seen anything bad.
No, and you can see that standard... the quality standards of the store going up. And I was even commenting that while we were watching some trailers, and it's oh man, the store this time next year is going to be a whole different beast on the same hardware. Yeah,
the production levels that I think studios are going to have to start taking now has definitely been kicked up a notch, because I'm seeing a lot more reoccurring things with how they're making their games now.
A lot more motion capture. I mean, Swordsman VR, which we have a review dropping of this Wednesday, they did motion cap, and they're on App Lab. And then we were watching some trailers of some of these upcoming games, and it's well, there's that motion cap,
The motion cap is friggin' awesome.
In VR for AI, it definitely makes a difference.
And for those who don't know what it is, be doing it an injustice to just throw the term. That's douchey.
Yeah, that's just throwing on the suit, and then that's when they do the full recordings to capture the full...
when you see the person in the full body suit
with 100 trackers all over them,
little white dots all over them, looking like a science experiment.
Well, think of it, because a problem that exists in a lot of modern VR games is...
But that also gives the fluid motions
I was actually
as well.
Just going to say that for the AI is why it's so important, because oftentimes you'll see the AI move, and it's herky-jerky. Motion cap allows them to create much more fluid moving AI. I think that's...
and they're using real actors. I mean, not saying actors you necessarily go to the film and see, but they're genuinely
trained. They know what they're doing.
Correct. So they could be stunt
people. Not the developers putting on the gear and having fun.
You get 3 or 4 stunt people in there. It's a game changer.
Yeah, so there's some good stuff.
You see the
coming.
levels, and if you watch trailers for upcoming games, it's pretty ridiculous, the production they're putting into them.
Well, we're big people who talk a lot about, we love App Lab. So we're always
we do.
Why is this game on App Lab versus the official store? Privately, we'll discuss sometimes maybe that one was a little bit more App Lab orientated, So,
which I'm going to stop doing.
Right now, the lines are a little bit more blurry about standards and consistency of which ones are going where. But with these upcoming games that I see, it's I think in a year it's going to be very clear and obvious what's on App Lab and why it's on App Lab versus what's on the official store. Just with the quality of games that I see coming, it's ooh, if these App Lab games came out with these games in the store, I think I would be yeah, it makes sense that they're on App Lab.
Yeah, I mean, but in fairness to a whole handful of current games that we could list off that, I would argue till I'm blue in the face, probably should have been on the store.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's not my role in life.
No.
I don't have that call. I don't have that authority.
But I will die on the hill for some of the gems, like our
Correct.
Caxer.
Correct.
Our Caxer.
I will say it till,
even with all these upcoming games coming up, our Caxer still belongs on the official store. But nonetheless, for what I'm saying is you see the quality going up. And that's always something I wondered is as these developers learn the headset more, have we seen the max of the Quest 2, or is it only going to get better?
It's only going to get better.
Yeah, that's what the answer seems like.
Because it's like anything else. If you gave someone an engine and said, okay, here's your basic engine, we're not going to give you any new parts for it. It's only going to have this amount of horsepower. People figure out a way to get more horsepower out of it. Remember video cards, people, they still do, they overclock them. It's all right, you got a great video card, it'll do this. But now we'll make it just a little better. So yeah, but no, just seeing it sucks because you're seeing the amount of money it's gonna really take
to get onto the store.
or maybe anywhere down the road.
Yeah,
It's
we're
like
seeing
there's investments that have to get made that don't look cheap by any. And I get the struggle. You get a studio of 2 people, making a project, and
but like,
you're up against somebody who again can hire 7 living human beings to go in there with action suits on, and I mean it looks no different than what you see if you saw like the filming of a major Hollywood movie.
yeah, and I mean we were looking at Killer Frequency, which is an upcoming game, and
They could have wires and tether you and swing you. I mean, and those characters in the game are going to respond with that fluid motion.
well, and the bigger boys are getting involved. It's not like I said, we were looking at Killer Frequency, and when I was reading the description of it said from the first VR game from the studio that brought you Worms, and I got real excited
because stoked
because that was a game series that I loved when I was younger. Worms was a great game. Now, obviously, Killer Frequency looks much more like a horror scary game, but it's like that's not a small studio getting in the mix of things.
No, and we had kind of talked about it. God knows how many months ago that this industry is going to progress. Probably in our eyes, not fast enough, but it is progressing at a very fast speed.
Yeah, even from when we first got our headset to now, it's huge.
And the day's going to come where it's going to be a whole fleet load of AAA studios who are going to have their feet now wet in VR, and we're not even remotely close to that. We've had really one, possibly for the MetaQuest.
Yeah, no, it's
and they just dumped and bailed.
Yeah, it's going to be real interesting.
Yeah.
Whereas Kill Frequency looks like it's going to be a little bit more polished, but we'll see. But
yeah,
no,
definitely.
I think that we're getting close to that point where the official store is going to be these high budget, big studio polished games.
But then is that going to start driving? I mean, you're essentially using a production studio to make a, action sequence or body movements. I just wonder if it's going to have to forcibly drive up cost of the game.
We'll see.
Makes sense.
It's going to be real interesting in a year. What we see coming.
Yeah. No, I'm excited. There's not, like I said, even something that, truth be told, I'm not really interested in really playing. I'm still kind of wanting to try it in VR. So I haven't seen anything yet come down that I was like, I wouldn't try. Even the worst rated game in the store, I would try. I'm not going to pay for it, but if you get below a 2, I don't believe I should have to pay for your product. Get what I'm saying?
No, but so I'm about to start going crazy talking about all these upcoming games, but something I kind of wanted to talk about, real quick, because we've been having a blast with it, is Pop 1's new update.
Oh, dude,
the sniper neutralizer.
Enjoy it before they start nerfing some of these guns.
Yeah, I call it the sniper neutralizer. So they brought in some new weapons. They brought in the RFB, the FAL, some Uzis, which are two-handed Uzis, and the Matadors, which is
that's like a dream come true for you because you wanted them back ever since they left.
Yeah, but here's the sad thing. The Matadors are two-handed, like,
shotguns.
Yeah, two-handed. I don't even want to call them shotguns. They're like
pistol
one-handed.
shotties.
They're badass, and you reload them by flipping. That's how you reload the Uzis too. Not too big on the Uzis, but it's almost a little bittersweet having the Matadors back because they brought them back at the same time as the RFB and the FAL coming into the play. Which, like, I don't use the Matadors too much because the RFB and the FAL are just so freaking good. Like, it's changed the game.
Dude, some people swear by these Uzis too, but even in the lobby,
I just don't like them.
I'm like, man. I mean, and you double fist them. So if you haven't played it, I don't know how. It should almost come standard. Like if you buy an Oculus, it comes pre-installed with Population 1, so you can get that over and done with. But yeah, they're double-fisted weapons, and for some reason, the accuracy on them to me sucks.
Yeah, no, I'm not good with managing the recoil and the aim of them.
But the FAL.
Yeah, the FAL. That's like an assault rifle, and a Seiko had a baby.
Yeah,
I can't. That's the only way I can. It's like
it just sounds like a cannon every time you pull the trigger.
It does high damage. It's an assault rifle. It's long range.
I got 5 kills the other night with that.
Now that is the long range king, and the reason I say that's that's a sniper neutralizer is because, gone are the days where, you see somebody far away and you have an MK and they have a sniper or CX, you're screwed.
Mm-hmm.
The FAL,
It's an equalizer.
It's very much an equalizer. And the RFB, so back in the day, the way it used to be was, from a range, an assault rifle is going to be the SMG classes in general. But once you get up close, the SMGs are just going to destroy you if you have an MK or a CX. The RFB has like zero recoil if you're holding it with two hands.
Don't say that.
It's like everything a CX ever wanted to be. It is so laser sharp and precise. It just shoots straight, like beyond fast.
Plus you got like the optical sight.
It's got nice sight. It shoots
and
accurate,
you get the crosshairs
fast,
if you're not using them.
and it does a lot of damage. So
It's vicious.
I can pop headshots on people easy from a distance.
You give me the gold RFB and the FAL. I don't need anything else. I'm all set.
Yeah, no,
I proved it. I mean, it's like
I'll take a 2-star RFB.
that's why I'm like, I'm scared
happy.
they're gonna nerf them.
I think they might, but it's changed the game because anybody who was, in my opinion, sniper,
You don't hear as many.
Yeah, I was just gonna say you don't hear it.
You don't hear the
boom,
Seiko rounds
boom.
constantly going off. You definitely still hear the ops, but let's be honest, ops, close up sight, so you can't fire off rapid shots like that.
And it was getting a little annoying to the point that there's actually sometimes that we were playing and we're like, man, sniping is too much the meta. That's too much,
Yeah,
OP
I was
right
saying
now.
I wouldn't cry if they got rid of the Seiko.
Yeah, and it's now I don't
Keep
care.
the op. The op is standard in a lot of
Now I don't
different games,
care.
but no.
Now it works
Oh,
perfect.
no. I encourage you.
Now
Let me know
it's
where the sound is coming from, because I'm going to go perch up with a...
So maybe they will nerf the RFB or the FAL, but at the same time, it's been such a great solution.
Even if they tone it down, because I'm anticipating they're going to be like, all right, we'll at least tone down the hit points that you can really do some damage with those.
Or add some recoil onto the RFB, because right now it's... I'm not mad at it, though. I think it's... The thing is, though, it's balanced the game a lot.
Definitely. You can hear it on the map.
But it's like, so as much as I've been looking forward to these Maddies returning, it's like, man, the RFB...
They threw it in the mix of better guns.
Yeah, they're so freaking good. Those were two great additions that I loved. And another thing that Pop 1 added, besides the new weapons, is now that they have a ranked game mode, which, like, before there was no ranked or unranked. I mean, this is great for new players, so that way they're not hopping in and going right against, what people call sweats, the savages, the level 60s who are just going to wipe the floor with you. But, if you want to play ranked, there's ranking points, and there's tiers to it, from, like, bronze all the way up to grand banana, which is silly.
You have to put a lot of playtime in to get that.
Yeah, somebody got it in a couple days.
Oh,
Beast.
I know.
Samachi.
Samachi. Yeah.
Guy
You see that name in a server, and for some
reason
reason you're not on his squad, just...
You're taking second, the best case scenario.
Go. You know what? The best advice I'd give is, like, armor up.
Hide.
Figure out where the final shrink is going to be.
Hide.
Build a box, and then build a box inside the box.
Hide.
And then build one inside that, and then just wait for the inevitable. No, we've ended up playing, and when he's in a server, because that's all you'll see is, like, Samachi killed so-and-so with a pistol. Samachi killed so-and-so with a sword. Samachi killed so-and-so.
Gives me a throwback to the Joey Coco days from when we first
Jimmy
started
Coco.
playing. Jimmy Coco.
Jimmy Coco, the legend of Jimmy Coco.
When we first started playing. But
yeah, no, there's some scary beasts out there, but that's a name I'll say, like, I mean, you can play if you want just for the what if, but, it's not going to end well.
Well, I can see why that he excelled so much in the ranking points, because it works like you get points based off of your placement. So first place gets X, the most amount of points, but then you get rewarded, for second, third, and fourth. And this was actually something I was super excited for, because we always joke that we're the king of second place.
King of second.
And it's a real thing. You look at our win rate, it's like, what, 11, 12% last time I looked. I haven't actually
13.
looked at 13. Yeah, I've man, I need to check mine. Mine's probably up there with yours.
Yep.
It's got to at least be 12 then. So it's like we have that, acknowledgement for the amount of times we won first place, but we always joke, like, if we could see how many times we took second, it'd be amazing.
Or if there was a value to it.
Yeah, obviously you get a little bit of, like, level up points, but nothing too major. But now with ranked mode, it's like, all right, we got a pretty good amount of ranked points for taking second. There's some actual value to it. and then you also get extra points for kills. So somebody like Samachi who's taking first and wiping
getting
lobbies.
15 kills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm not high enough into
wiping lobbies.
That's the thing, you know. So you can see how he's destroying it on the ranking points. But
yeah, no, but hats off to Big Box because they're always
I'm not
always doing something. And I had no clue that they were going to start doing these crazy weapons until they pretty much announced it.
No, and they give you rewards for the ranked mode too for hitting certain tiers.
And of course, there's always the new skins, and they got the skins in the modes now that you can earn, which are achievable.
Yeah,
not the one to be the Grand Banana. They are so very phallic.
Yeah, that is pretty silly.
The shaker and the banana. Yeah, we always thought that was comical. But no, the other mode where you can win, okay, there's a spray, there's a new weapon skin.
They might as well call it
the ghillie. I think they have it the ghillie skin is the final one.
Yeah. No, I mean they've done great with replayability and making the rewards winnable. But man, they might as well call
we play it every day.
They might as well call their Grand Banana the Big Dick category, you know?
I wasn't gonna go there. But yeah. It always cracks me up.
Yeah. But great game. Great job adding to the replay value for, you said
especially that new players too.
Well, yeah, having the ranked and unranked, but you say, we play it, nonstop, but there are those beasts that, tend to fall away from the game. I feel like this ranked mode and these rewards will help keep in the higher level players and give them kind of a category of their own.
Now, you know how I know when they do it right?
When you're getting killed by level 60s nonstop?
Yep, and it was happening the other night. It was like, wow, I don't think I got killed by anybody lower than a 59.
Yeah, it's like, oh, there's all the returning.
It's like, yeah, here they come. They're testing.
This was a great update.
But it gets the players coming back, and it gets the servers full. And again, with the community of Pop 1, for the most... Listen, the lobby's always going to be a little goofy and possibly toxic, if you wanted to say, depending on...
Maybe a little molesty.
It could be a little molesty, depending on where you're standing and who you're standing with. But when it's game time, if you're a new player and you're going to get squatted up with 2 other people, they're typically very helpful. If you're fortunate enough to get squatted with us and you're a new player, man,
we teach people to play how to play the game.
We are the perfect,
But it's not just us. There's a lot of people like that.
Yeah.
Just be honest. If you're a new player, just be like, hey, tell them how often you play the game. You'll probably get a lot of help. The community's great in that regard.
When we first started playing, that's the only reason why I have, I think, a higher win percentage than you, is because there was a lot of times when we first got it that I would go play by myself and
people would help you to the win.
Which is awkward, let's be honest, because it's... Yeah, you don't want to be that. And I'll tell you, the amount of there's more people now who don't talk in their mic.
It's getting more
or act like they have an Oculus and they don't have a mic. Yeah, so that's where you feel a little like,
yeah.
I know you're on an Oculus, right? And you're not. We're asking you, hey, do you have a mic? You can just say, hey, I don't want to talk on my mic.
Yeah, I'll respect that.
Occasionally, you'll get somebody who's like a master at pinging, and it doesn't matter. It's almost like, wow, they got their point across better than
using words.
Yeah,
it's more efficient.
They were hearing us, but
at
other
least
times
you'll get that silent.
Know that you at least hear them.
Yeah, nothing worse than this. The only thing worse than a little kid is a silent player that quits.
Not even lately. We've had some little kids in Pop 1 that weren't that bad.
Oh, maybe it looks like parenting's getting on track. Like people whipping their kids online.
I distinctly remember the last cool little kid who we ended up having to get squatted with, and when his voice first started, we did the courtesy. I'm just like, no,
this is him.
But the kid's only problem, and I think I said it after we were done playing, I'm like, he was a cool little guy. He had but he was over trying with the information of like, they're
surroundings,
over here, they're over there,
this weapon here, this weapon there.
But it wasn't done obnoxiously. It was just done over the top. Like he was trying so hard not to be offensive. That was his only flaw, was he was actually offensive just by his continual. But
I hope it's a sign of good things to come.
Yes,
I hope the community. Yes. I hope the little kid community is getting less toxic.
And we had, I don't know why I'm thinking of all these funny ones, but we also had that little kid who was an absolute dirtbag. I ended up telling him that, listen, I'm not going to listen to you. And he goes, why? And I go, because I don't fucking listen to little kids, okay? I don't have to do that. And then his dad came in, and the kid tells his dad, this guy told me he doesn't have to listen to me. And he goes, well, he's probably a fucking adult. Why would he listen to you? Give me my headset. And then the guy, remember, he was all the way across from the map, and he was taking a walk of death. And the only reason he stuck around and didn't bail was because he knew his kid was being douchey. And, but I mean, that tells you the community. It's fun for beginners and people.
Occasionally you'll get that, like I said, the silent player who quits or whatever.
We just make the best of it, though. If we get a really obnoxious person, we have some fun personally.
One last thing about the ranked mode, I'm not high enough ranked to be able to confirm it's true, but something I've read, some grand bananas can confirm it to me, that once you get to the higher tiers, there's a little bit of an entry cost on your ranking points as well to do a ranked match. But I'm not a high enough tier to do it. I think I'm like silver or something.
They punish you for being great.
Well, no, but example, if you don't take at least third, you might lose. Points.
I get you.
So you got to pay into. It's like a gamble.
Ooh.
It's an entry fee. You get what I'm saying now?
I won't have to worry about that.
Yeah, I'll be a low.
They've also made.
This ranked session this season. This is going to end before I get to the high tiers.
They've also, and this was a huge one actually, because this was an issue I had with their social coins and like, what the hell are they going to do with them? Because there's only so much shit people really want.
Thank you for bringing this up.
And now if you click on your social coins, and it'll open up a panel of like 4 different things that you can now spend the money on,
including skins.
Some of the old skin, like Pumpkinhead.
Dude, they
10.
They have a Mr. Moneybags PJ.
But I'm not gonna lie, 10,000 social coins.
Remember we saw somebody with that in the lobby, and on his back for the backpack is a money bag.
Yeah.
Come on.
I was so confused where he got it.
And now I know.
Yeah. So
remember I went to go ask him, and then the lobby ended, and I went into the match, and I was like, no, I was just about to ask him.
You can buy a bunch of cool shit, but if you were hurting for skins, or you're like, oh, I don't have the gold for a skin. I mean, literally, you can get Pumpkinhead for 10.
Yeah, I have thousands of social coins,
but
and before it was
you go running around with Pumpkinhead, you're going to get shot in the head, because his head is huge.
But it's cool you can get these older skins, and I was one of those people who were like, what am I ever going to do with these thousands of social coins? And now it's like, well, now I got to at least get 10K. I got to get Mr. Moneybags over there.
I don't even have 2,000 social coins.
Oh, I think I'm in the 3K.
Yeah, I nobody fucking gives them.
I'm getting less and less. But here's the thing: it's because for so long there's nothing in there. People stopped doing it.
Yeah,
I'm thinking maybe now we'll see people sending.
And I hate just being the guy that just rewards but gets nothing back for it.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so I'm gonna give 100 people on my list social coins, and 10 of them are gonna give it back.
My list is just so big because of boxing people. I box people in the lobby sometimes, and because of that, that friends list is massive.
So yeah, pop one. Let's go on.
Yeah, so we could talk about. We could do easy a whole episode on pop one.
Of course.
But
I've only done 2.
Another great one. Shout out to Resolutions Games on this one. They sent us actually a nice little booklet promoting it too.
Yeah.
Is they got their newest book, which is what they call pretty much their DLC, but important to know, all the update DLC for Demeo is free. It's not like a paid DLC or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But their new book is The Curse of the Serpent Lord, and this map is pretty fun. It brings some new gameplay elements, like you have there's to start, the whole environment is very sandy. It's like deserty.
Mm-hmm.
There's a new class that you've been using. You've been loving her.
Oh, with the dog Kana.
Yeah.
My dog Kana there. She can do like physical combat, but she also controls the dog, and I don't know, she's almost like a jack of all trades.
Yeah, she has a little bit of guardian element with that melee.
She gets us some good ranged cards as well.
There was a couple times that you used her, and I was like, damn, you can still hit from that far because your line of sight was good. So it's like the range isn't as good as the archer or anything like that, but
no, I'm having fun playing with her though. Yeah, she's good.
Because of the dog, you can kind of go off a little and do a little bit of your own, And the cool thing about the dog is it has levels associated with it. So it starts at level 1, or I think they call it Fortitude 1.
Yeah.
And then, every time you kill something, it gets a little experience.
You can see the bar if you.
And if the dog dies, it will come back. But if it dies, it loses all the experience in between that and the next Fortitude. But once it fully levels up, it gets some more HP, and it does more damage each attack. So you can see how by the time it's like level 3,
the progressive. Oh yeah, but you'll need it.
Yeah,
because the new monsters and stuff.
Yeah, they got some
new enemies.
They got some crazy new enemies, but like I said, they have these sand things. that, you know, have gold under them sometimes.
Scorpions.
Sometimes an enemy is under them.
Yeah.
Sometimes it could be like an environmental item, like it might be an oil lamp or something. But I'd say, like, I don't know the exact percentage, just if I was to throw a number out, like 60% of the time it's gold. Enough ratio that I feel pretty comfortable to, we destroy all the sand stuff.
Attack the sand?
Yeah, we try to leave every floor Mr. Moneybags. So there's also these, like, crimson stone.
Well, you have to have the money because you want to buy cards after you get out of the dungeon.
And both of us definitely have this completionist, like, flaw to us where we have to do it all. So, like, we have to check all the rooms.
Yeah,
we have to get every chest.
Yep.
And then now that these sand, we have to get all that. And then what's cool is there's these crystal things that you want to destroy these ASAP because they spawn these, like, crimson freaking rage floor tiles that if you step on, they'll do damage and they'll cause your character to get enraged and just angry, go berserk.
He will kill the other character.
He'll kill your teammates. Like, there was one time, man, you were standing right next to me.
Man.
You know, we were discovering these new gameplay elements, and, like, I go to recover you, and then I get an item. So you're super low health because you just got recovered, and now it says you're going to die in 2 turns, and then I go and grab a chest, and you're right next to me. So my guy gets all crazy, mad, and then I kill you.
Yep.
And you're like, what the hell, man? I'm like, I'm sorry, it wasn't me. You know, I had no control. So then I revive you. Now it's like death in 1 turn. So I revive you. I move my guy. I try to move him away, like, far enough. And then he just turns around, walks back, and moof, dead, out of the game.
I was salty. It was funny.
It was hilarious. So these crimson things, they'll keep spawning the floor more and more until you destroy them. So destroy them on your terms versus, like, I can't advance or move anymore because...
Oh, no. Because if you're going to get affected by one, you might as well be away from your teammates. Because could you imagine being huddled?
Yeah, we actually use that to advantage.
In a group of 4?
We wanted a chest, and the only way was to touch it.
Yep.
And I was like...
I'm getting the hell out of here.
You're like, all right, I'm leaving the room, and then I went in there and grabbed it. But you destroy the crimson buildup, and then... the 4 tiles that they built or that they spawned go away.
Yeah, pretty
and
big chunk of them.
Yeah, so you want to destroy these ASAP, and then your dog also gets experience for destroying them. So it's pretty cool.
Yep.
And then
they also got that other character with the fiddle.
Yeah, the bard. Would that be what it is?
Yeah, I just don't. I think it is. I've yet to. One of the things I don't like the character jump.
No, I only use the guardian.
I've used the magician like once, maybe.
Yeah.
And then mainly always the archer. It wasn't until I was like, oh, new dungeon, I'll try this character to see how she does.
She's a beast.
Yeah, done properly.
She's giving you a run for the money with the archer. Because the archer was always your go-to.
Yeah.
And now it's like, man, I can feel it a little bit that you might be liking her more.
Yeah.
The dog element, like seeing that dog level up is so cool.
Kinda.
I get so bummed when he dies and we lose his XP.
Oh yeah, but he comes right back after like 2 rounds or such. So I don't cry over it. The first time my dog got killed, I was like, well, this sucks.
Now your character's useless. But then he came back.
Yeah.
Like 1 or 2 turns later.
I was like, okay, this is genius. Because I can send myself to attack something and then the dog will go attack it as well.
And then we mentioned there's some new enemies, but there's obviously the returning old ones, like those asshole elven priests. Dude,
you know what they got really good with this one is
the environmental damage.
No, the picking you up and transporting you to the other side of the mountain.
I was going to talk about that. By environmental damage,
it's happened every time we've played it.
I mean, the AI seems a lot more willing to use like the oil lamps. And the frost things to their advantage. Oh, one more gameplay thing we didn't talk about is the water flasks that they added. Cool. So they added a new item that you can either make the ground wet on the ground, which by making it wet will make them more vulnerable to electricity and ice. So you throw that on the ground, there's a little ice pillar right there. Then you destroy that, it's going to do a shit ton of damage. But the other feature that those weapons have, or that those items have, that I like to use more, is you drink them and you get plus 3 HP.
But, yeah, they've made it a little easier to get health points.
Yeah, based off of that. It's not enough. It's not like a health potion that you're going to bump up 7.
But no, but it's enough.
That might
to
carry
make you feel like I might make it out of the next round.
Yeah, to
Maybe
carry
I can
you.
run away.
Especially for me as the guardian, that there's sometimes that, after all my armor gets down, because that's 4 points they have to hit me, maybe I only get down to 7 or 8. And it's like, I don't want to use a potion on that.
Mm.
But the OCD in me hates seeing that I'm not full health, so it's nice to be able to get a nice little quick bump up. But yeah, no, the AI in this, I don't know if they made AI changes. We were having luck, bad luck or anything, but yeah, a little bit of a douchebag the other night. That was messed up. They seem a lot more happy to move us around, like you said. There was one time where, man, they had just killed you, but I was standing right next to you. So I'm like, and it said, you'll be dead in 2 turns. So I was like, all right, I'll revive you right away. You're right next. I was literally not stressing it in the least.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden,
Yeah.
I
was very angry.
That elven priest, dude. I'm literally sitting right next to you. You die. He picks me up and he moves me. I'm not talking like into the next room.
Like 3 turns away.
minimum.
Farthest corner of the map is where you got put.
Like, and we were in the other corner. Like he killed you. You got killed, and then he said, "Watch this," and just moved me all the way to the corner. We were just silent for a second, and I was like, "Do you have a health potion?" You're like, "Yeah." So that if you have a health potion, you can use it on your body to resurrect, but it only bumps you up to 3 health.
Though.
Yeah, and then, so shame on me because I should have known this. What's cool about the new character is like, you would always use the archer before, so there's some cards that she has that you didn't see before, like a card Heaven's Fury, which drops
the ceiling.
Yeah, it just drops just drops a ton of damage from the sky. Now that's a card that I've used a lot as the guardian, so I should know this. But last night, man, we screwed ourselves like nobody's business.
After playing for a long time too.
We were having the funnest round, right? And it was a good round. It was going good, and then it started to go bad. And you were just looking for health for like literally, I don't know, 30 minutes. Like the health pillar was right there, and every time we got close, another enemy, nothing, something else happened that stopped us from getting health. And you were starting to get frustrated. Like, I don't care where you go, I don't care.
Health.
You're like, that's my number. I need that health. And then you get dropped, right? But I'm right next to you again. Luckily, they didn't move me. So you get put down, and there's this huge new enemy. And he's got 17 health, and he's here to do damage. So he knocks you down, right? So I revive you. And you even said audibly, like, if I can survive one more turn, I think I can get this. Like, I can get the health. It's literally, like, right there. If we can just run past this enemy.
Yeah, just need to get alive.
And then I go, dude, I'm about to change this. So we have that one enemy, and then there's like 3 other enemies. Like, we're in a pretty screwed situation, but all of us are like game huddled in with each other. So I play this Heaven's Fury card, which, we haven't played Demeo in, I don't know, a little over a month. Obviously we popped in and did some painting and checked out that stuff, but the Heroes Hangout, but we really sat and played an in-depth game, probably in about a month. So I seem to have somehow forgot that Heaven's Fury can damage me and you too. So I almost kill both of us. Like, I put us both on life support. We're on like IVs, like it's going teet 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 teet, like we're about to die, and then all of a sudden it's your turn, and instead of going and getting the health item, the health pillar, you also play Heaven's Fury. So we eat 2 of these consecutively and both just die. Game over.
Yep.
I mean, granted, all the enemies near us died too, but we were just you instantly got so genuinely frustrated, and I'm fucking pissing myself laughing. I'm howling.
No, I was so angry.
It was just because we just completely did it to ourselves.
I'm like, I had no, because I saw the area and I was like, all right, you'll probably take 1. I'll get none. I don't see myself anywhere in the area. I'm no big deal. And unleashed it, and then whap.
We both got hit several times.
I watched your character like do the little death kneel, and then I saw mine do it right after, and I'm like, what?
The best part was it's the same card I had just played.
I'm like, no. And I'm like, why didn't I just walk over? Because it was that 1 or 2 enemies still around us. And I'm like, oh, I have to kill them. Otherwise, I'm going to get the health and then regenerate and then be down to 7 instead of dead. Yeah, it was wicked sour about it. But yeah, no. If people haven't played Demeo in a while, they should definitely go check out the
new
new
enemies
update.
are good. New classes is really fun. I'm digging. Like, I'm obsessed with leveling up your dog, and I'm not even using that class.
Yeah, well, it's just effective.
It's so cool, and I don't know. It's something progressive about it. It was even the first time we use it, you're like, this isn't going to carry over to the next round we play, right? My dog.
Mm.
And I was like, no, it's definitely going to reset. And you're like, fuck. Like, that sucks. But yeah, it's cool. It's a cool new gameplay element. So Pop 1 had some cool new stuff. Demeo had some cool new stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we talked about killer frequency. There's, Upload VR had their showcase a couple weeks ago. And man, there are too many games to talk about again between like
Unplugged had a good update.
Yeah, actually
DLC for Pantera pack. So
Yeah.
if you're a Pantera fan, it's a really good one.
Yeah, and Unplugged has the hand tracking 2.0 now. We fired that up a couple weeks ago just to check it out again, and we just had so much fun with it. We kept doing one more song, just one more.
Yeah.
That's a fun chase to the leaderboard game, and I'm not usually that guy with those games.
No, I think I'm gonna have to pick up the Pantera pack. I saw him in concert back in the 90s, early 90s.
Well, it's cool to see them getting big bands like that, So not that they didn't have a already great soundtrack,
No, they
but
do, but
kind of go that Beat Saber route.
Nothing's free. So.
Yeah. No, I was excited to see that, and then Ragnarok had some more updates with like more content too.
Yep.
So cool stuff. But one game that I'm so freaking excited for is the sequel to Wands.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be.
It looks really good.
Yeah, Wands we never reviewed or anything, but it's a spell game. You have a wand and you fight the AI 1-on-1. Cool beans.
Mm-hmm.
This one's gonna be 3v3 with spell loadouts, all that stuff.
Yeah, it looks like the trailer looks like it has a lot of potential.
Oh, I'm excited. Now, granted, I do wish it was 2v2 because that way it could just be, or I'll even handicap myself, 3v2. But, it's always good for us to do 3v3 because it gives us an opportunity. We met a lot of cool people in Pop 1 that way, so I think this will be the same way. And that's coming out June 30th. Like, that one snuck up on me. So I've noticed this a lot in VR. On consoles and PC, they really like start promoting the game like freaking sometimes almost like a year out of release. Whereas like in VR, it's like when you really start to see those trailers and stuff drop, it's probably coming in a couple months. And I like that strategy a lot. So besides Wands, we also have Gambit coming. That's
that I'm excited for.
I think that I want to see use these words, in writing.
Mm-hmm.
But that looks like it has potential to give after the fall a run for its money, which would currently take, like, if somebody asks, what's the best, co-op shooter game, I'm going to say it's after the fall. That's what the whole basis of the game is. Gambit's giving me some Borderland vibes.
Yeah, it's on a weird cusp.
Yeah.
I'm excited for it, though.
It doesn't have that Borderlands feel with, like, the cartoonish graphics, but a lot of the humor, a lot of the, I don't know, I'm excited.
Yeah, it's definitely mature audience.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be a fun one. So
the trailer's mature audience.
I'm stoked for that one. Twilight Zone's coming out with a game next month in July.
I'm actually kind of excited for that. I'm curious.
They say it's a mixed reality experience, so I'm curious. The trailer. Yeah, there's two ways that people do trailers. Sometimes it seems like they spend all this money, they do actors,
Mm-hmm.
and it's huge production
or game footage. I'll take the game footage.
It's cheaper and it's better. Like, what does the game look like? That's what I want to see.
Yeah.
I didn't get too much of that out of the
I love when you see game footage and it says not actual game footage.
Yeah, it's like, what the hell? Versus like on, I think it was Gambit, the trailer in the bottom right.
It's like Oculus Quest
or
MetaQuest footage.
Yeah, and sometimes, or even, not actual in-game footage, sometimes you'll see, footage recorded on PC VR.
Yep.
And it's like, what am I actually going to get? Whereas, like, you see, fuck, that's recorded on the Quest 2. That's the best trailer to me because that's, for me as the consumer, it's actually showing me what I'm going to get.
Yeah, no, Twilight Zone did not do that.
No. So
I'm
curious about it.
I'm very, very curious.
Yeah, so that's coming out in July. And then there's one that, actually, before I get to that one, yeah, Hella Squad's coming out. I don't know if 2022 or 2023.
Good luck figuring it out.
Fuck, man, I gave him credit on that marketing thing. I laughed. I played it again. That was dirty but cool. It was like they played this awesome quick trailer real quick,
Mm-hmm.
and then it ends, and it's like it goes to
2002.
beep, signal lost.
No clue.
So yeah, it's like dropping in the digits.
Could be 9.
2
It could be a
0
9.
2, signal lost.
We told you it wasn't coming out till almost 2030.
Yeah, so is
No,
it going to be this
helicopter
year,
game,
next year?
Helicopter fighting game.
Made
in
by
VR.
the
I
makers
am
of
excited.
Ultra Wings. Don't tell not Ultra Wings. Made by the maker of Warplanes 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Don't want to tell the Ultra Wings guy made that slip up. I'll be getting an angry message. That's
boy.
funny. So
Good
that one's
interview though.
Yeah, no, I'm
Still
just
one
being
of my
silly. I'm
faves.
having fun. That looks like it's got potential, but who knows when it's coming out? Like you said, 2029.
Listen, I'm a sucker for flight sims. Don't care who makes it. Not my end of day cup of tea of who actually made it. But when something helicopter sim, so if this has like that and I didn't see any game footage.
No.
I saw a helicopter.
So that's just one of those.
But it's kind of alluding to it's going to be like helicopter, maybe helicopter combat.
Yeah, it's
but
funny.
in VR, if you can fly that helicopter, dude.
It's funny how like the games that I'm most excited for, like the Wands PV or the Wands 3-on-3, Gambit. It's the games that showed the actual trailer,
Yeah,
like the actual gameplay footage. Like
they had me at Heli, so
yeah. So I'm
I don't
excited
care
on
if
that
it
one.
said Heli Squad or whatever it said. I'm curious if anyone knows when that's coming out. Please drop us a message.
Yeah, what the hell? 2022, 2023, 24. What's going
I'm
on?
saying it could be 29. Who knows?
But there's one that we're going to disagree a lot with. And granted, there's a bunch more games announced, like a Nerf one and stuff. I just don't want to sit here for 2 hours and go through every single coming soon game. But there's one more I want to touch on that I think we're going to disagree a lot on, and that's What the Bat.
Oh.
So
yeah, I don't.
What the Golf. Apple did their Apple Arcade thing that's kind of slowed down because it seems like Apple's like Google and they'll put a lot of effort into something and then change direction. But that was like a highlight of it. In that game, your hands were just golf clubs. And, you use your imagination with that. What's the basis of the game? It's not playing golf. It's doing day-to-day tasks and challenges. Just your hands are golf clubs. And that sequel to that game is going to be in VR. It's What the Bat. And we were watching the trailer, and I was busting your balls. I was getting you going. I was like, telling you, dude, this is going to be one of the best sellers on the Quest store.
That's what you say.
This is going to get so much hype. This is going to be be loved. It's going to have
I
cult
can't
following.
believe it, man. No. But here's
and you're like, we'll see. This will be a fun one.
All right. So the premise of the game is you're a dude or a lady or
I don't know
whatever.
what you are.
It doesn't matter. And you have your arms and hands are just bats. So you just got a bat on your right hand and a bat on your left hand. Not even your hand. That's your whole arm in your hand is a bat.
There's one point in the trailer the characters are brushing their teeth with their bat.
Yeah.
arm.
So I go, okay. So what's the point? And you're like, oh, dude, you gotta live your life with bat hands or bat arms. And I'm like,
just go think of the potential. Use your imagination from there. There's so much that they could do. I don't know.
like,
I don't
what's
know
the
exactly
point?
how they're gonna
And
go
you're like,
yet.
This is.
I'm
I'm telling you, man. This game is gonna be one of the best seller games you'll see. And I'm like, okay, don't say another word. We'll talk about this when we're talking on the podcast because I'm like,
for this to come out
the only reason I almost agree with you
because it's so silly.
Is because of Sheep Simulator. That
Or Goat Simulator.
Goat Simulator,
Yeah.
That weird, just I don't know.
There's something weird that happens in gaming where it's like you either have to
This
have
one though.
you.
I'm not shitting on it because I'm gonna play it. Obviously,
I bet you it's gonna be so much fun.
I'll eat my words.
I'm probably gonna be in tears with this
They
one.
haven't sold me.
Hey, you know me. I'm biased. I like the silly stuff.
There was
in
one
VR.
of the trailers I saw, and I was like, well, I'm not gonna lie, that really does not look at all like it's gonna be fun. And then I go, you know what that means?
Yeah.
And you're like, it's gonna be the best freaking game ever. I go, oh yeah, probably.
Yeah. That's
And
the way it goes.
it was irrelevant what game it was, but I mean, who knows? I'm gonna try it. But What the Bat?
I'm excited. I think it's gonna be a good one.
They got the what part real accurate.
What? Man.
Because I think that's what I saw. I was like, what? Dude, what's the point of this? What do you do? Do you do anything? Like,
You're gonna find out.
it's endless possibilities. I'm like, okay, show the guy painting with the bat,
brushing their teeth. The brushing their teeth was the best.
Hitting stuff.
But yeah, you know me.
Smashing the alarm clock turns into like glitter. I'm like, okay.
You know me though, man. I love these silly things.
I hope they charge $29 for it too.
I bet you it's gonna be $20.
Really?
At least 15. At least 15.
$9.99.
At least 15.
I'm hoping $9.99.
Let's see, man. I can't.
Don't hit my pocket too bad for me to go. What the hell?
What the bat?
What the hell? It's just I don't know, man.
Gaming.
I'm not
though,
shitting on it because I haven't tried it.
Because games either need to be super like well done, sophisticated, unique.
Game of the year.
Concept,
I'm not going there. Yeah.
Or they can just go, Goat Simulator route, and it's like this completely wonky experience, and both seem to do really well, for no rhyme or reason. I think that this is going to be one of those like, wow, I didn't expect that was actually going to be fun.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to follow that one when it comes out.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I will keep my. Well, I'm sure you're not going to let me not know what the bat's coming.
At this point, and then Among Us dropped another trailer, which I won't lie, man. I hate to say it, I'm excited for Among Us in VR.
I'm more excited to try it in VR than I ever would be to try it in any other platform outside of it.
During the pandemic, I played a lot with my friends. It was a fun concept, cool game. I think in VR.
You'd made me watch you play it a couple of times.
Yeah, because it's a cool concept,
And it seemed fast-paced.
It's funny how easy humans are to convince and how quickly people like role play in those. Like when you are the imposter.
So if you're like the best player ever at this game, does that really mean that you are just the ultimate bullshitter?
Probably, or
right?
Equally as good. You'd have to be good at the game. You also
have
to be equally as good at spotting bullshit out of people.
If they have a leaderboard, it's safe to say that those top 10 names are people that you don't want to be friends with in real life.
I don't think there's a leaderboard, but
probably for that reason.
Yeah.
I'm just curious because
the
whole game is deception and lying, and
it's not only, it's the other side of the coin too,
which is trying to figure it out.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then
they've got a cult following.
And then also there's tasks for the non-imposters that you have, like you have to get your ship up and running.
You got a job to do.
So if the murderers don't
everybody has a role, so you're not all
except
in the same
murderers. They're the imposters. Their job is to kill.
Yep.
And I think it's gonna be so hilarious in VR.
It's gonna be weird because you have the real voices probably.
Yeah. Once you get killed in the game, so on the computer and the handheld on the phone, that's how I always played it on the phone. There's a chat, and when you die, you have a different chat.
Yep.
And it's like it's got to be voice chat.
It's gonna be weird.
So once you get killed, you can't be like Orange killed me. You're gonna be like it's gonna be everybody else at Orange and Blue because there's always two imposters. You get to talk about it with everybody else who got fucking killed and watch these. You watch these people. So you got killed by Orange, and then you watch Orange sit there and go, "It's yellow."
Yep.
It wasn't
someone
me.
else will get voted,
and then they'll vote out yellow. And you'll be like, I got killed by Orange, but you can't tell anybody. That's the whole fun of the game.
No.
Oh my God, great concept. And like everybody fills their role. They do it. Like people just do it. Like you'll lie.
No, I'm
it's
excited.
The game.
I'm excited to try it. Like I said, in virtual reality, I'm excited to try it because I think it'll work in my mind better than
on a phone.
Doing it on the phone. Yeah.
Well, that was a game that excelled so much with the timing. It's like Tiger King. It's like came out pandemic.
Dude, it was popular.
Yeah.
So
I'm excited for it in VR, and that's made by Shell Games. This port of it is going to be done by Shell Games.
Shell doesn't fuck around, so
yeah, I'm a big Shell Games fan, so I'm excited. So like I said, there's a bunch more games coming out that we could talk about, but
a slew.
I'm just saying that we can see right here the quality of game coming to the store.
The surface.
Man, in 1 year it's going to be fun. I'm excited.
Yeah.
So, anything else you want to talk about on this episode, or any other news or anything?
Yeah, it was cool. You actually shared with me something that somebody who sends us messages, I guess, not frequently, but we'll say.
I think that this is important to say, like, it's kind of obvious, but like we run our own social medias and our Reddit and our
community
Discord.
Manager.
So if you message the Ruff Talk VR social media accounts or our Reddit account, you shoot me a message on Reddit or Discord, and I respond, and if I see it, that's us. That's not anybody
somebody
else
else or whatever.
So this is somebody who, we've gone back and forth, a couple times. They've shot us a message, say, hey, I appreciate this aspect of the game, your review episode or whatever.
Yep. And it's Gordo 2000, but he shared a bunch of tips that makes things more immersive for him. And he was, asking if we've tried it or heard of it. But one of the things that he said, and it's funny, some of them I don't think I could do, but a fan. He's like, have you ever tried,
Yeah, for as simple as it is.
Let me tell you something. When we had first started playing Pop 1 way back when, I would put the little round oscillating fan just right on my face. And only for the instance of, when you first jump out of the pod or jump off the platform, it felt like, wow, because you feel the air rushing on you.
The immersion of it.
Oh, 1,000,000%.
And as well, if you're somebody who struggles with motion sickness.
But for, definitely.
That's what it's big for.
But for flight sims, like, and Ultra Wings or, whatever, if you put the fan in front of you and have it blowing on you, most of the planes, it's like open cockpit anyways. It really, really, really does add to the feeling. Yeah. So hats off to him for sharing it, but I wanted to mention that is a legit. And the same thing with calming down motion sickness. Yeah, they'll do that at amusement parks for extreme rides.
Because it gives you, like, I forget the whole, it's something about, like, showing your brain where you are located in the room, and that's
you're
what
forcing your brain to try to accept something that it knows you're physically not doing.
Yeah, it's like the concept that you're seeing things move, but you're not actually moving, and your brain loses track of where it is in the room, I guess, is what causes a lot of people to get motion sick. So a fan, it shows your brain, all right, there's something coming from that direction.
Yeah, but
I know where I am.
Flight sims right in front of you.
Ooh, that's such an immersion game changer.
It's a game changer. Yeah, it doesn't. Mine was an emotion sickness issue. It was just
bringing it to the next level.
Yeah. So when I had read that he had mentioned that, I'm like, that's right. It works great with, especially flight sims.
Yeah.
As long as it's right in front of you, because then no matter where your plane goes, you're always getting that in face. And if you turn your face to the right or left, you'll feel it on your cheek. So I mean, it's cool.
I've never been one of those people that struggle to get immersed in VR. But there is something to be said about when you first get the headset. It's your first times in VR are unique. I used to get sweaty hands climbing up the tower in Pop 1. That wouldn't happen to me in Pop 1 now. But I used to I remember climbing in Pop 1 up high and being like, ooh, I feel woozy.
Yeah, getting nervous feeling.
So it's like it's cool when you first get the headset. It's different. But I've never lost it completely, but it definitely was a little bit more special,
I'll still get shaky legged every once in a while. I'll climb to the top of something real tall and then run to the edge and stop, and then I'll get real life shaky legged.
The climb was still able to do it to me pretty good. But the reason why I mentioned it for Pop 1 is because it's like Pop 1's not a game designed for that. And it was like the first game to go away from me for that feeling too. But
well, yeah, we were climbing the tower all the time.
But yeah, and then even when we were playing Ultra Wings, and it wasn't like a motion sickness thing, but you take off in Ultra Wings. Even to this day, I play it, and it's like I've been using VR a lot for a good amount of time now. I take off in Ultra Wings, and I feel my stomach go down like that.
You're supposed to, though.
Yeah, because it's like flying, taking off.
Yeah, I've heard a couple of the actual pilots who have played it to tell people that, look,
that's not motion sickness.
That queasy feeling you're feeling when you're playing is...
Go fly a real plane.
It's called flying. Sit in the cockpit. It's what it feels like.
No, so thank you for bringing that up. I would have felt terrible if that didn't come up.
It's just cool because at least people know that it does.
It hits off.
Messages goes direct. There's no service involved.
Yeah, and it's another reason. Follow us on Instagram, social media.
It is direct contact.
Join the Discord, the subreddit, all that fun stuff. And like I always say, if you've been liking the episode as well, subscribe and rate us 5 stars.
Most definitely.
So, other than that,
I'm good for the news this week.
Yeah, I think we covered a lot of bases. Like I said, we could spend a lot of time just talking about new games. So, hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and stay tuned for Wednesday's review of Swordsman VR.
I'm psyched.